Police in the U.S. say the suspect in a mass shooting near Los Angeles has been found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He's thought to have killed at least 10 people and wounded 10 others during the shooting at a ballroom dance club where people were celebrating the Chinese Lunar New Year.
This is where the manhunt came to an end. Security forces surrounded a white van in Torrance, California, 45 kilometers from the site of the mass shooting. Authorities say the suspect had already shot himself before the SWAT team approached the vehicle. He was named as Hu Can Tran, 72 years old. Police say he entered a second club in a neighboring city, but was disarmed by 2 citizens. The manhunt extended across the Los Angeles area.
When I got here and I saw, and I told you this morning, the look in the eyes of the homicide investigators and all of their staff, you could just tell they were going to get this guy. We still are not clear on the motive. The investigation continues, and that is something we are all extremely, we want to know. We want to know how something like this, something this awful can happen.
In Monterey Park, residents are dismayed by the violence that broke out at this ballroom dance studio during Lunar New Year celebrations.
I cannot believe it. I'm stunned and shocked that this could happen here in our peaceful community.
This is a community where my kids took art lessons. We come down here for food all the time. We see elders walking around all the time. This has been a safe neighborhood for them to walk around and have community, historic Taiwanese Chinese community. So to see this happen in this place is shattering.
It just feels very gloomy. I'm pretty sure all our hearts are heavy, and I'm very happy to see the community come together.
It was the first time celebrations for the Lunar New Year had been allowed in public since the pandemic. Authorities have set up a crisis center for those affected by the shooting.
Journalist Jason Campidonia joins us now from Los Angeles. Jason, you've been following events there closely. What exactly happened?
So what we know now is that thousands of people were celebrating the Chinese New Year in Monterey Park, which is about 10 to 15 minutes east of downtown LA. And a gunman walked into a ballroom in the city of Monterey Park and opened fire, killing 10 and shooting another 10. The victims, 5 men, 5 women, were dead. That gunman then left and went to another dance hall nearby in the neighboring city of Alhambra and tried to open fire there, but 2 bystanders were able to wrestle the gun away from him, and then the shooter disappeared. He then later showed up in a white panel van in the city of Torrance, which is about 30 miles south of Los Angeles, during a routine traffic stop, and ended up taking up his own life. And what I've just been told is that law enforcement has now found his home in Hemet, California, which is about 80 miles southeast of downtown LA. And they've served a search warrant there and are going through his home.
Tell us more about the victims, Jason. I understand they were celebrating the start of the Lunar New Year.
That's right. And what we understand is that the average age of the people that go to these dance halls or these ballrooms is about 65 years old. And authorities say that the victims range in age between 50 and 70 plus. We know, like I said, 5 men, 5 women are dead. 10 others were rushed to nearby hospitals, but what we now know is that only 7 remain in the hospital. Their conditions range from stable to critical.
So, yet another mass shooting in the U.S. Can we expect further calls for gun control in the wake of this one, Jason?
It's already happening. California Governor Gavin Newsom has put out a tweet saying that national gun reform is needed on a national level. And it was just a few days ago that U.S. President Joe Biden said that he wants to ban assault-style weapons in the United States. So that ball was already on a roll, and this will just fuel that fire for a lot of people looking for gun reform.
Jason, thank you very much. That was journalist Jason Campadonia in L.A.